The moderator for the conversation, Lillian Ross, has been a staff writer for The New Yorker for over 60 years and has written books on some of the greatest filmmakers of all time, including one on John Huston, where she was brought to the filming of The Red Badge of Courage. And that book has been in publication for over 50 years. It's called Picture. We've got some information on it out front. And it's a real pleasure to have her here at the festival, Lillian Ross.
That's for making it. Thanks.
And it's a real honor to introduce our Marquee Award winner, who literally grew up in and around movies, and over that time turned in some truly phenomenal performances in films like Prizzi's Honor and The Grifters and Royal Tenenbaums, and a film we're showing here at the festival, Choke. It's just an honor to have her here at the festival. Please welcome Anjelica Huston.
I think it's a series of choices. And when I read a character on the page, I'll have certain instincts about that character, what kind of person she is, by the words she speaks, by the actions as written. And then I'll do my best, having decided whether or not this character she doesn't necessarily have to be good in order to be empathetic to me, but whether I can get into her skin. After I make that decision, then I go about getting into her skin. So I would probably, find approximate areas where I might find out about that character. She might remind me of somebody I know. Or there might be an opportunity to do, I think, the thing that you're talking about, which is that thing where you speak to the audience as well as speaking to the other character. I told my agent that I wanted to direct, and if she should ever, come by any offers, to please let me in on it. And she called me on a Friday and said, "Well, there's this script called Bastard Out of Carolina," and I was immediately enticed by the title, and sent it to me, and it was a really powerful, beautiful book about a girl. A girl who's abused, coming of age, and I fell in love with it and said yes, I'll shoot it on the Monday, and of course everyone knew that I'd never directed before, so that was comfortable, especially on my first day when I went to my trailer and I was thinking, well, I wonder why no one's calling me. It says 8:30 on the shooting schedule. I was having breakfast. And, of course, the director is supposed to be on the set. They don't wait in the trailer to be told what to do. So I was really, do you know you can be around sets all your life, and until it happens to you, you don't really know how it goes. But then, and at first it was very scary to say action, but I got over that. And for the rest, it was immersing yourself in every detail, which I love. I love putting things together. I like to do it. I like to make collages, and I also like to do it with people and places and scenes.
But who are these people in the film business who are making creativity sort of dry up and die? How do you account for it? Because you must have to give it some thought.
I think it has to do with money, and I think because there's a huge commercial audience out there that's being decided upon. It's like, every once in 10 years or so, cowboy movies become popular. It's because somebody's made a cowboy movie and it's become popular. So all of a sudden, everyone thinks, "Oh, cowboy movies." It's a little bit that mentality, you know, and then for a while things are legitimate. But I think it has to do with generally people thinking that 14-year-old boys are the audience. They are the audience. They're the audience, and maybe girls these days, but they're the audience that come back, and that's the audience that the people who own these theaters and the people who are running the studios. That's how they want it. They want to make money out of everything, and it's not how things used to be. It really isn't. When I was first out in California, there was a company called BBS, Bob Rafelson, Bert Schneider, and Jack were part of this company. Dennis Hopper was part of this company. These were people who, Hal Ashby was on the scene in those days, a fantastic person, beautiful movie maker. Terrence Malick. There were people who just blew your mind because they all had a vision, and they all, Stanley Kubrick, you know, the list goes on. But Stanley Kubrick was from a slightly previous age to theirs, but they were really something. They were mavericks. They were coming out with all kinds of ideas, films that we hadn't seen before. Easy Rider changed my life.
Yeah.
But these movies weren't about money. They were about love and interest, and they were an adventure to watch. I mean, you were watching stuff for the first time. That's always the thrill,
Yeah.
isn't it? I think most actors are actually very shy.
Yeah.
And I think, but what we do is when we make movies, we connect very, very fast. And it's funny, often, you know, when you're working with somebody, you have a tremendously close relationship, a relationship that happens so suddenly and so powerfully and so intimately that after the movie's finished, you no longer have any need for each other. You kind of exhaust each other fast. And sometimes even outside that little knuckle of work, you don't have anything particularly in common, or you don't think much of their girlfriend, or you don't care. But the circumstances in which you're working call for whatever that proximity is. That's what exists, and that's what that area is probably for you when you're writing, Lillian.
Yeah.
It's that intimate area, but you're in it. In my case, you're in it with a group.